everyone, my name is Amber, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about popular books that I do want to read. So I was going to do a video on popular books that I didn't want to read, but that felt a bit too negative. So I'm going to save that video for a later time. And today I'm just going to be talking about the popular books that I am definitely interested in for various reasons. So I have 15 books here to talk about today, and some of them I don't actually know much about. They're just ones that have been hyped up and I do really want to get to them. So without further ado, let's get started. The first one I want to mention is huge. It's a massive hit on BookTube and it has received mixed reviews from maybe people who don't read as much YA as other people. So I get the impression that more adult readers don't enjoy this series as much, and that is Serpent and Dove. I have no idea what this series is about. The second book actually came out in September and I was going to read both of them in September, but I just didn't have time. So Serpent and Dove, I think, is about a witch and a witch hunter. They turn into a ship. So it's kind of like an enemies to lovers, hunters to romance. That's a really horrible way of putting it. But I'm just intrigued by this book, and I don't think it's going to be the best book I've ever read, but to be honest, I enjoyed Throne of Glass and that wasn't the best book either. Sometimes you just need a book that's going to entertain you for a bit, and I think that's what Serpent and Dove is going to do. So I think I'm going to try to read this series in January, maybe. I don't want to commit to anything though, just in case I can't. The next book is also part of a series, and that is An Ember in the Ashes. So I have already read the first book. I read it when it first came out years ago. I think it was like 2014-ish, and it's basically Roman-inspired fantasy. And I want to reread the first book and then marathon the rest of the series because it's ending in December, finally. It's been years. So I'm going to be doing a reading vlog as I'm reading this series. So stay tuned for that in December. I remember really enjoying the first book when I read it the first time. I can't remember why I never carried on with the series. I think it's just because the installments had long gaps in between them, and I also kind of got into a bit of a reading slump around the time the second and third books came out, so I didn't check them out. But I am very much looking forward to continuing on with this series, and it is very well loved, so I'm looking forward to it. The next one is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. To be honest, I'm slightly more interested in The Great Alone, but I hear more things about The Nightingale, which is why it's on this list. And I do actually have it behind me somewhat. I think it's up there. It's World War II historical fiction, and while I don't always love historical fiction, I need to be in the right mood for it. I have heard really good things about this book, so I do want to check it out. And Kristen Hanna is such a popular author as well at the moment that I just want to read everything that she has written, so I'm tempted to maybe do a which Kristen Hanna book is best video. But I know that she has released a lot previously before The Nightingale and The Great Alone got so popular, so we'll see how that goes. I might just have to pick a few, like her most popular ones maybe. The next one is a recent release, and that is A Deadly Education. This one, again, I don't know much about. I'm very intrigued by it, partly because of the hype, partly because of the controversy surrounding it. I just want to check it out for myself. I'm also very interested in it because I heard that the magic system is very dark and interesting. So I think it's about characters who all go to this school and there are no teachers. The school is run by magic and there are severe consequences if you don't behave and you don't do your schoolwork. So I think the magic system is what really intrigues me with this one. I didn't really enjoy Naomi Novik's other book, which was Uprooted. I haven't read Spinning Silver, I just didn't bother. Uprooted was just a bit boring for me. I did read it as an audiobook though, so maybe that could be the reason why. So I'm hesitant to try this, but I am still really excited because I do really like the concept. Then I want to read House of Earth and Blood, or Crescent City, whatever we're calling it. I haven't finished the Throne of Glass series, so I do want to do that first because I started reading that when the books first came out and I just didn't finish them. I'm really bad at finishing series, in case you didn't know. So I've been putting this one off, but I do really want to read it, especially because I think that Sarah J Maas's new writing style will fit more with the adult themes rather than them trying to market this one as YA like they did with ACOTAR, which just did not work. So I'm glad that this one is being marketed as adult, and I also love some urban fantasy, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. The next one is Cemetery Boys. I might try to read this in December, however I had real trouble getting my hands on it in the UK in time for Halloween, which is when I really wanted to read it. I was tempted to leave it for another year to read it again at Halloween in October next year, but I don't want to leave it for that long because I'm really excited to get to it and it sounds so good. So I think this is about a boy who I think is trans. He brings the school jock back from the dead and then they fall in love and there's a hate to love romance, and it just sounds really good. It sounds like something I would really enjoy. So it's like a contemporary with kind of horror magical vibes to it. So I do want to get to this one and I might try to get to it in the new year, maybe in December, but again I'm not sure if I can get my hands on it that soon. The next one is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. I have no idea what this is about. I know that it's YA fantasy. I know that everyone has been hyping it up. It's one of the most popular releases of the year. I'm so excited to read it just because of the hype, literally. It does seem very long and quite intimidating for a YA fantasy, so that's the reason I've been putting it off a little bit, but I do want to get to it soon, maybe first thing in the new year. The next one is Girl, Woman, Other. This one is UK fiction. It's an adult contemporary and it's following a dozen or more black women, mostly women I think, in the UK, and it talks about their history and their stories, and I think it's either all told in verse or part of it is told in verse, and I do have that again I think behind me somewhere. Yes, right there. So I am able to get to it very soon. I have been putting it off though because I don't tend to love novels told in verse, but I do keep trying because I'm determined to find one that I do love, and I think this one might be the one. Giddy and the Ninth, which again I have no idea what it's about. So I've heard that it's about lesbian necromancers in space, but then I've also heard that that's not an accurate description at all. That's just something that BookTube kept saying. So in short, I've got no idea what this is about. No one has confirmed or denied anything to me. I just really like the concept, and also the cover is gorgeous. So I want to get my hands on a physical copy. I'm not sure if any UK publishers are selling it. I think you have to go through Tor, and therefore I might have to go through Amazon, which I really don't want to do. So I might try to see if I can get it secondhand or from somewhere else. My point is I don't think any indie bookstores around here are selling it. So I need to find a way to get my hands on it. But I love the cover, and I'm convinced I'm going to like this one, even though some people have told me that I might not, but it just sounds like something that I would really enjoy. The Gilded Wolves. This is one that I have previously ignored because it kept being compared to Six of Crows, and I liked Six of Crows, but I'm not like a massive fan. I'm not a fangirl of Leigh Bardugo's books by any means, so I had been kind of ignoring this. However, I've now decided that I might actually like it because I have low expectations, and I also don't think it's much like Six of Crows at all. It's just something that had been used to promote it, which is fair because if you want to get people who aren't book bloggers or booktubers within the community, if you're trying to reach out to people outside of the community, then you need to compare new books to more popular books to get people interested. So it does make sense. But anyway, now that I have lower expectations, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Again, I don't think it's going to be one that I get to really soon, but I want to get to it by this time next year. The next one is a classic, and that is Rebecca. This is one that I've been meaning to read for absolute years, and I just never have. And recently there's been a lot of hype surrounding it because of, first of all, Halloween, and it's kind of like a gothic thriller. Secondly, because the movie came out, and the movie is apparently crap, which is fine. So I probably won't be checking out the movie, but I do really want to check out the book because it sounds like something I would really like. The next one is Warstorm, which is the 4th book in the Red Queen series, and I don't really have much to say about this one because it's like the end of the series, but I really enjoyed Red Queen. It was kind of trashy and it wasn't the most like well-written book, but again, it was really entertaining and it got me back into reading because it was just like a fast-paced fantasy about people with what could be considered superpowers, and I really love books about people with superpowers, so I was really into this series and I really need to finish this book. It's just so bloody long, and it's been so long since I read King's Cage. I'm going to need to read a recap. Then we have a super popular one, and that is Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda, and that's YA Contemporary by Becky Albertalli. I didn't check this one out when it first came out because it came out when I was on a book blogging and booktubing break, and so it just completely passed me by, and then I suddenly heard about it when I came back and the Love, Simon movie was coming out. It's just something that I wasn't too interested in at the time, and then I wanted to read it after the movie came out because everyone was loving it, and it's just something that I've been putting off, so I do want to read this soon. I guess it's probably going to be a quick read, and I'm tempted to maybe read it in February for like a contemporary readathon. I also want to know what everyone's talking about when they go on about Blue, because I've got no idea what everyone means when they're talking about them, so I don't know. I'm gonna give this one a go, and I really think I'm going to love it. The next one is one that I'm reading at the start of December, and that is The Bear and the Nightingale. This one is the first in a trilogy, which I think is called the Winter Night Trilogy, and again, this is one that just completely passed me by, I think because I was on some sort of break or a reading slump, but this one is apparently really good, and I'm doing a week-long buddy read for this at the beginning of December, or maybe mid-December, I can't really remember. I will put a schedule up once I know, but go and follow me on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with that. This is a tangent, but I don't know if you know that in October I did 4 buddy reads based on thrillers, horrors, Halloweeny sort of spooky vibes, and I had so much fun. So I'm going to be doing it again in December for like wintry and New Year reads. Stay tuned for that. I will get the schedule up as soon as possible. But anyway, I'm very interested in this one because no one has disliked it, so I think I'm going to love it when I do get to it. Yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm also excited about buddy reading it. And then finally, the last popular book that I really want to read is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. So I've never read anything by Adam Silvera before. Actually, that's a lie. I've never read a solo Adam Silvera book before. I've read the book that he wrote with Becky Albertalli, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, but I've never read anything just by him. This one sounds really tragic, so I want to read it. That's my logic there. I think it's going to make me cry and it's going to be really, really good. So I'm very much looking forward to reading it and checking out Adam Silvera's solo work, particularly his YA. I was going to read Infinity Sum, but I'm not so sure about that. I think I'm more interested in his YA stuff, contemporary stuff. I mean, I'm more interested in his contemporary than his fantasy. So those are some of the popular books that I really want to read. If you have read them, which you probably have, because like I said, they're really popular and I am really behind on this bandwagon, please let me know which ones you think I would enjoy, I wouldn't enjoy. I'm going to be reading them regardless, even if you do tell me they're crap. Please don't take offense if I don't listen to you and read the books anyway. They're just things that I'm really quite interested in at the moment, and they're ones that the hype hasn't completely ruined for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will speak to you all in the next one. Bye.